The bearded ones, as they were called, rode into Havana on the 1st of January 1959 on a wave of optimism after overthrowing the repressive Batista regime. It was a new dawn. Many didn't expect them to survive long, especially as the United States actively tried to undermine Fidel Castro's government, most notably backing the failed 1961 Bay of Pigs invasion and imposing an economic blockade that survives to this day. Stella Coloni was a friend of Castro's.
The
1959 revolution was a historic continuation of the liberation wars, the wars of independence. Cubans have always been fighting against Spanish colonialism and then against US interference.
Cuba, led by Fidel, then his brother Raúl, and now Miguel Díaz-Canel, has constantly adapted to changing circumstances, embracing help from the Soviet Union, then turning to tourism and special measures when the Soviet Union collapsed, and now allowing the growth of private enterprise, albeit cautiously, reluctantly.
We've made progress, I have to say, but we're still a long way from accepting the fact that we need it, and we actually have to do lots of different things to nurture the private sector, because that's also positive, not only for the economy, but also for the lives of a majority of the Cuban people.
About 13% of the workforce has gone private, often deserting low-paid state sector jobs to work in the more lucrative tourist industry, an industry selling visions of a socialist dream.
Super Cuba.
This man, Che Guevara, died in Bolivia in 1967, trying to spread Cuba's brand of socialism throughout Latin America. Although he failed, his influence is still felt, if not at government level, then at trade union and social movements throughout the region. And of course in Cuba itself, the country the Argentine adopted as his home. Cubans will vote on the referendum in February on the kind of socialism they'd like to see in a revised constitution. Perhaps more market reforms and increased foreign investment.
What I'd like to know, what I question is, what kind of socialism are we talking about? I consider myself a socialist. That doesn't mean it can be imposed at a constitutional level on the whole world. The people who run the country today may have a different interpretation of socialism tomorrow, and saying something is not socialist could be enough to restrict someone's constitutional rights.
Its allies in the region are disappearing. Brazil, for instance, sending Cuban medics home. Venezuelan oil drying up. But Cuba says its socialist flame, 60 years on, still burns bright, that they'll continue to defy the odds and survive and thrive. Daniel Schweimler, Al Jazeera.